So, what do I dream of for this trip, this journey? What am I thinking, really? What's really going on in my heart and soul that makes me need this so much? I can think of a lot of things. Number one, I want to get me and my children away from electronic devices. And I want us to play outside and read and make little bonfires together and go on little hikes and things, make crafts. And I'm not able to make myself do that at home. So we need that kind of moving meditation to help us cure that addiction. Another thing is that I've been doing a lot of healing for 4 years. More than that, but focused healing for 4 years. And it's time now for me to break away from the past and from who I used to be, who I became as a result of trauma. It's time for me to remember my true divine nature and to rise above and to embody my greatest self and to enjoy life again. I would like to go on a trip where I'm focused on transformation and female shamanism and ascension, things like that. So I've brought workbooks, I've brought A Course in Miracle, I've brought a lot of mythology books and other things. I put a 2-shelf bookcase in the back of my van for my books and things. That's how I roll, baby. I went through a lot of trauma that caused me to lose who I really am. Because I adapted to so much trauma, it rewired my nervous system and it shut down my emotional heart. And it taught me a lot of bad behaviors. And I really want to break away from that. So I'm planning to go to the Nantahala River Gorge by no later than the summer solstice and do rituals and baptize myself in those waters, which are about 39 degrees and rush pretty fast in some places. And while I'm there, I anticipate that I will receive a new animal totem and a new human name. Right now, I go by Kiona Thundersong, and my totem is the bear. I have other totems as well, but that's who I've had an affinity with. Well, that's getting ready to change a little. I'm getting ready to be adopted by a new totem tribe. And other magical things are planned as well. I plan to vlog. I plan to write. I want to write poetry and stories and creative nonfiction. I plan to do art for our zines and things, to make flyers and stickers and things. I want to read a lot of books because at home I get really focused on electronics and the internet, like YouTube and things like that. I want to have a geographical cure so that I can make some big changes. I feel like I may even stop smoking. I may just lose bad habits just because I don't need them while I'm out there. And if I can stay on that path for long enough, then it'll take root in me and I'll change. So I'm planning to do things again like blessing my food every time we eat, blessing and protecting our space every day when we clean it, blessing ourselves each day, singing heart songs again, drumming, eating fresh, natural food like salads and juices and things. Going to a lot of free places that are historic or cultural or environmental or artistic. I want to visit coffee shops and bookstores and collectives and things and see the beauty spots. So I'm going to be going from Rhode Island to Nantahala National Forest on the first leg of the trip. And I'm taking the scenic route. And in a lot of places I'll be following the Appalachian Trail. And the reason why, the biggest reason why, is because I'm very sensitive to the energies of the places I pass through. And I really writhe in discomfort when I go through bad areas. And I want to avoid them at all costs. Because this is a moving meditation. We've invested quite a lot in it. And now it's time to step up and be creative and do it for real. You know, to make new friends, to build new alliances, to have new conversations. Anything new, you know, is going to rewire my nervous system so that my heart comes back to life and I remember my true divine nature so much that I can embody my greatest self here on earth. That's the goal, because I'm at a point in my healing journey where I can't go any further until I master self-love, to heal any love I didn't receive before, and to coax me out of my armor and my defenses and things. Because I do have a very clear, strong awareness of the extra realities that are here right now simultaneously, but yet it's a feedback loop. Reality shapes me. The objective reality that is collective and everybody puts something into it shapes me, and then my perceptions and beliefs feed into that and affect them. And it's a feedback loop where reality creates you and you create your reality. And it spins like a torus. If you're only creating your own reality, then you're living in your own world. But if you're letting reality create you as well, then you're engaged with the world, hopefully with the frequency of love. If you don't feel love, then remember that love is also an action. Love is also a commitment. Love is also holding someone in a positive or a neutral regard, no matter what the facts are of their story here on earth. And I'm going to be doing cool little things like every town I go to, I'm going to get a bumper sticker or a postcard or both. I'm going to have a collection. And I'm going to make art with it. Mirrored art. Kaleidoscopic fifth dimensional art. Anytime I acquire anything, I'm going to do it with heart and consciousness. The way I've outfitted my van, it's mostly wood. My cooler seems to be plastic, but almost everything else is wood. If I can choose wood, I do. If I can choose natural things, I do, because I want that frequency, I want that vibe, you know? So I'm crafting a conscious journey of a lifetime, an epic quest to remember my true divine self, so that I can continue with my healing process and I can be a blessing to the world and give back to the world in that feedback loop, you know, and the people who receive that and perceive that will then give their share back to the feedback loop, and we'll be blessing each other like an endless hall of mirrors, like the Essene mirrors. And that's really how I perceive this trip. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Peace and blessings always. I'm always wishing you all the best. Be beautiful, be free, and be true to yourself. Until we meet again, namaste, and blessed be.